For most of modern long-haul aviation history, growth meant one thing: scale. Bigger aircraft, bigger hubs, more passengers on fewer flights. The Boeing 777X was born from that logic. Not as a revolution, but as an evolution. A longer fuselage, a wider composite wing, the most powerful engines ever installed on a commercial aircraft. On paper, it is the most advanced wide-body Boeing has ever built. And yet, by the time it was ready, the world it was designed for had already begun to change. When Boeing committed to the 777X, the logic seemed entirely consistent with what aviation had rewarded for decades. The 777-300ER became the backbone of global long-haul travel. It replaced aging 747s. It carried more passengers with only 2 engines. It reduced fuel burn while increasing capacity. Airlines embraced it. So the 777X was positioned not as a breakthrough, but as a refinement. A composite wing inspired by the 787, more efficient GE9X engines. A stretched fuselage capable of carrying over 400 passengers. A disciplined upgrade of a proven formula. And at first, the market appeared aligned with that logic. Mega hubs were expanding. Passenger traffic was growing. Slot-constrained airports preferred larger aircraft instead of increasing flight frequency. If the route between Dubai and London was already full, the simplest solution was to deploy a bigger aircraft. The 777X fit perfectly into that equation. But while Boeing was refining the aircraft, airline strategy was evolving. The 787 and A350 introduced flexibility over long distances. They enabled intercontinental routes without concentrating risk into one massive departure. Instead of funneling traffic into a single dominant hub, airlines began distributing it. Point-to-point routes between secondary cities expanded. Capacity became modular. Frequency began to matter more than size. The economics shifted quietly. An aircraft with slightly higher seat costs could outperform a larger jet if it reduced exposure to demand volatility. The 777X, by contrast, depends on density. It performs best when demand is predictable, when premium cabins are consistently filled, when long-haul traffic remains concentrated in major gateways. And that concentration began to weaken. Even before global disruptions, the system was already less centralized than it had been in the 2000s. If the market was shifting, the aircraft itself was not standing still. Technically, the 777X is one of the most ambitious engineering programs in modern commercial aviation. Its wing is the clearest expression of that ambition. With a wingspan of nearly 72 meters when extended, it becomes the largest wing ever fitted to a twin-engine commercial aircraft. Composite construction, higher aspect ratio, lower aerodynamic drag at cruise speed. But there was a constraint: airport infrastructure. Most major airports were not designed for wings of that size. Gate spacing and taxiway geometry impose physical limits, so Boeing introduced folding wingtips. On the ground, the aircraft fits into existing 777 gates. In the air, it benefits from a significantly wider and more efficient wing, an elegant solution to a structural limitation. Then there are the engines. The GE9X is the most powerful commercial turbofan ever built. Its fan diameter is wider than the fuselage of a 737. It delivers unprecedented thrust while reducing fuel burn per seat compared to the 777-300ER. Composite fan blades. Advanced ceramic components. A record-breaking bypass ratio. The numbers are clear. Lower fuel consumption, lower emissions, lower noise levels. From an engineering perspective, the 777X is the optimization of scale. But scale itself has become the variable now under question. In a 384 to 426 passenger configuration, the aircraft reshapes the financial structure of a route. When demand is high, it becomes exceptionally efficient. High premium revenues combined with low seat kilometer costs can generate substantial margins. But when demand weakens, risk rises proportionally. A half-empty 787 is a manageable scenario. A half-empty 777X concentrates the loss into a single departure. This is not a design flaw. It is a structural reality. The 777X rewards density. It assumes sustained concentration of long-haul flows. For airlines built around geographic hubs, that assumption still holds. Slot-constrained airports such as Heathrow or Haneda encourage upgauging. Strategic hubs like Dubai depend on connecting density. In that environment, the 777X aligns naturally with network logic. Outside of it, the calculation becomes more complex. Over the past decade, long-haul networks have diversified. Point-to-point routes have expanded. Secondary city pairs have matured. Aircraft like the 787 and A350 have reduced the need for scale concentration. The 777X does not replace them. It sits above them. It occupies the space once defined by the 747 and A380. High capacity, long range, hub optimization. The difference is efficiency. 2 engines instead of 4. Lower operating costs. Modernized systems. There is nothing outdated about the aircraft itself. What introduces uncertainty is timing. It was conceived in an era of expansion through scale. It enters service in a period increasingly defined by adaptability. By the time the 777X reaches full market deployment, the question is no longer whether large aircraft can work. The question is narrower. Where exactly do they work? For airlines like Emirates, the answer remains clear. Dubai is structurally built on concentration. Every slot must maximize revenue. For them, the 777X is a continuation. But most airlines operate differently. North American and European carriers distribute traffic across multiple gateways. Instead of one 400-seat departure, they may choose 2 smaller flights at different times. That reduces volatility, distributes risk, protects margins during downturns. The 777X competes not with older aircraft, but with this philosophy. Fleet strategy complicates the decision. Aircraft programs are measured in decades. Fleet commitments shape balance sheets for the long term. Ordering a high-capacity aircraft implies confidence in the structural stability of demand. In some markets, that confidence exists. Premium trans-Pacific corridors, Europe-Middle East trunk routes, slot-constrained global hubs, but those markets are limited. The 777X does not require universal dominance. It requires structural density. If hub concentration stabilizes or strengthens, this aircraft will become an extraordinarily efficient asset. If long-haul demand continues to fragment, its operational niche will narrow. The aircraft itself will perform exactly as designed, but its legacy will be determined elsewhere. Not in wind tunnels, not on engine test stands, but in network economics. The Boeing 777X is not a symbol of failure. It is a symbol of conviction. The conviction that scale still matters in part of the system. That hub concentration will endure. That premium long-haul demand will justify capacity. Technically, it fulfills those assumptions. But aviation evolves. Flexibility has replaced prestige. Risk management has displaced unchecked expansion. Adaptability now competes directly with scale. The 777X stands at that intersection. Modern in engineering, traditional in economic philosophy. If concentrated global flows remain strong, it will thrive. If decentralization accelerates, its role will narrow. In aviation, success is rarely about building the largest machine. It is about building the right machine for its moment. And the 777X is about to find out whether this is still its moment.